Hi there, sport fans.
All of you are probably familiar with these sponsored radio programs, which are rapidly becoming the highest type entertainment features on broadcasting stations.
As your master of ceremonies, I solemnly swear that we're going to try to make it 60 minutes of real enjoyment for every member of the family.
Welcome, everyone, to this edition of the Undrafted, Uncensored podcast. My name is Caleb, and I will be driving today. With me, I have Connor Sheehan, and I have Colin, the Prophet Zanker. So,
yes,
we're not going to be
sir.
fooling around. We're going to be getting right into this. Week 1 is just a week away, finally, after what felt like the longest offseason in history. We are finally arrived at kickoff.
6 days.
Yep. 6 days.
It felt like forever.
Yep.
One for the thumb.
Yeah, one for the thumb.
Until
One for the
about,
non-digit.
for about 4.5 hours.
So I figured today for fun, let's put some chips on the table. And I do have a predictions card written down here where we're going to be predicting all our division winners for the NFL
Okay,
season.
Caleb. Okay.
Wild
We're playing
cards.
profit.
So this way, none of y'all can hedge on your bets saying you didn't pick this team or you didn't pick that team. We do have a fourth host, Mace, who will not be joining us this evening due to some matters he has to take care of, but that is okay. We'll just do it with the three of us. So I figured all three of us are Denver fans. Let's start in the home division, the AFC West.
Go
Sheehan, I will
Rockies.
start with you.
No. Oh, we're talking football. Oh, we're talking foosball.
Oh, we're talking foosball. Yeah.
Sheehan, who do you have winning the West this year? I think we all know who this is.
Listen, I would love to have a hot take for you, but it's going to be the Chiefs. I mean, it's just, you remember the Broncos of 5 years ago, even the last year of Peyton Manning, when you were just like 2014 going into 2015, you sat there and you said, Peyton Manning is not throwing the ball well. But we know the Broncos are going to win the division, right?
You know why? Because they had Peyton freaking Manning.
Wait, no, because they had the defense.
Wait, Zager Spankers. Colin, hold on. We all knew that they were going to win the division because of the defense and through the leadership of Peyton Manning. Now, you fast forward 6 years, the dead ass answer, of course, is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it just hurts me, but go ahead. Yeah, I wanted to prolong that just because I love you guys, but go ahead.
Well, I think honestly, yeah, the defense was a part of it, but you have PFM as your quarterback. You mentioned that a few years ago.
Even though he couldn't throw a football through a wet paper bag. Yes,
and even though also in that division, there was Alex Smith. There was a good quarterback there in competition, but having that quarterback in Peyton Manning, that's basically what Mahomes has become. He's basically a division winner in a division without another superstar quarterback yet. Because, at
a much younger age. Peyton Manning, Colin, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Peyton Manning was never Patrick Mahomes in year 5 the way that Patrick Mahomes is. Patrick Mahomes has done so much more, and he has had so much more support around him than Peyton Manning ever did, regardless of Marvin Harrison.
The Chiefs let go of Sammy Watkins, this offseason, who, he's getting older, but still, it's just the Chiefs they were able to retool. After that loss in the Super Bowl, they saw what happened and they addressed the issues. There's no way the Chiefs got worse this offseason. The only thing that derails that team really is injuries. And no one can predict that. So without being able to see the future and see what happens, it's easily the Chiefs. But Justin Herbert this year, if he shows the same growth in his second season, like that was from college to the pros and what he did last year, if he can show the same amount of growth and do it a year earlier than like a Josh Allen did, obviously in his third year, and make that leap, it wouldn't surprise me if the Chargers push the Chiefs till the last week or two.
I have to disagree on that
I believe
because
that.
even with Herbert playing as well as he is, that Chargers defense, unfortunately, has lost a lot of potential due to obviously free agency. They lost a lot of their talent. And I love Chris Harris. I love Chris Harris here. I love Chris Harris. He's not the corner he was. He gets burned on those deep routes, but unfortunately, he's still a boundary corner. That's what they keep trying to make him.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. They're not playing him in a position for his best success. That doesn't mean we won't see him in that position this year either.
They also lost
a new coaching staff.
Yeah. They also lost Casey Hayward, who is a fantastic corner, and Derwin James. I like Derwin James, but he's coming off back-to-back ACL tears. That he hasn't played in 2 years. So who knows if he's going to have that same oomph and speed as he had when he first came out. That's going to be – and it's hard to say that because he's so young and he has a lot of potential, but it's hard to believe that just coming back from 2 ACL tears is going to be easy.
Well, ain't nothing easy out there, but still I just really don't see how I know the Chargers are everyone's darling, but it all starts at the quarterback. And with what Justin Herbert showed last year, playing that whole season, I have no doubt that he's a franchise quarterback for that team for years to come if he doesn't regress. And no signs point to that. It obviously can happen. But the way that he made that season go and what he learned later on in the season, losing the Mike Williams as his receiver, getting running backs, is flipping between was it Joshua Jackson, right?
Justin Jackson.
Yeah.
Jackson. Justin Jackson and Austin Eckler. When he got Eckler back, it took off even more once again. But Jackson, they were still successful. I know they didn't have a great season, but they were still able to move the ball. And I wouldn't put it past, that defense to even step up because Chris Harris Jr. is a perfect example of a guy who you don't count on, but will step up. And that veteran leadership, it can have a big, big influence in the locker room, which for me is the Broncos right now don't have guys who have won or who have been there. So for the Broncos being third in the division, fighting with the Raiders for last place, it's how do you handle either success or failure this year? And so how do the Chargers handle that? How does Justin Herbert handle that if that success comes?
All right, so let me address that. First of all, towards the Chargers, Chris Harris was never going to be the answer for the Los Angeles Chargers, even when they signed him. I mean, just nobody respected Chris Harris the way that he should have been respected outside of Broncos fans, and he should have been that way. And Chris Harris can still be a formidable option. It's just not going to be looked at that way. So to answer your first question,
Connor, you muted yourself real quick before you get back on. So Chris Harris,
unfortunately,
he didn't
I'm
sign
here.
his contract to be the main cornerback.
No, unfortunately, Chris Harris will not be there to be the main cornerback. He was never. Well, of course, he should be, but he will not be, and he will never be the primary option. He will never be there to be the third option as Chris Harris is somebody that we got to pay attention to. Unfortunately, I'm there. The Los Angeles Chargers, even regardless of, injury, staying healthy, whatever, Los Angeles Chargers are not that deep of a team. I believe that everybody makes them to be.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
every year-
No, but let me just say this.
you did say it, Connor. They're not deep, and it's
No,
fair.
but Colin, you remember I said Drew Lock will have a more impressive year than Justin Herbert, correct?
Oh, I remember. I was going to remind you of that here real soon.
All right.
Yeah.
So Austin Eckler has a history of not staying healthy.
Yeah.
Who's the second running back?
Jefferson, who I just mentioned.
Justin
Jackson. I don't know. I like.
Yeah, no,
Jackson.
but see,
No,
I asked that very intentionally because you can't even repeat it after you said it on your own fucking monologue. So that's why I said it. Now, my second thing is, who's the second wide receiver outside of Keenan?
Mike Williams.
Okay. How often is Mike Williams healthy?
He's healthier more than Keenan Allen.
Okay.
The problem, like,
Who's the third wide receiver?
Guyton.
Who?
Guyton.
Who?
Guyton, number 15.
I know, Caleb.
All I
I'm
know is
kidding.
his last name.
I'm kidding. I'm saying is the Los Angeles Chargers do not have the team that stays healthy and that can compete for even a second spot. They're number 4. The Los Angeles Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, they have a roster that actually, in my opinion, is worse than the Chargers. Is that wrong?
So you have the Broncos at 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but like, let me, the way I broke it down, are the Las Vegas Raiders better on paper than the Chargers?
no.
I'd say the Chargers have the edge in terms of, I would say, receiving core and quarterback. That's where the Chargers have the edge. Defensively, I'd say they're somewhat about the same, though the Chargers have more talent on their defense, but it certainly hasn't helped. They got torched a lot last year.
Caleb, if the only advantage that the Raiders have is receiving core
Quarterback.
and
No, I said
quarterback-
Chargers. I said Chargers had the edge there.
Excuse me. That's
Yeah.
what I meant. If the Chargers only have the advantage through receiving core and quarterback, then you have the Chargers number 3, right?
No, I have the Chargers at second. I have them finishing second in the West this year.
But if the only advantage that they have is quarterback and
and
receiving
coaching.
core,
That's an advantage the Chargers have. I believe Brandon Staley will do a better job with the Chargers than Gruden will do with the Raiders.
That's actually pretty damn big. I mean, but it's yet to be seen. It is a rookie coach in the NFL.
True, but I've seen
Caleb,
seen Gruden in the Raiders.
if you exclude Brandon Staley, the only things that you have to go off of is the Chargers quarterback and receiving core. And that's what stuns me, is because the Chargers defense, secondary and linebackers are incredibly better than the Raiders, and even edge rushers. The Chargers have that advantage. And I'm just shocked that you didn't put them there.
I got the Chargers finishing second because I feel their offense will win them quite a few games. I think their defense, it's not what it was like, say, 2017-18
But it's better
defense,
than
which
the
was really good.
Raiders.
Yeah, not by a huge margin. Not by a huge margin, but it is better.
He hasn't better than the Raiders.
I have the Raiders finishing. I have the Raiders finishing
Not
with 4
how
wins.
he rebutted me.
I have the Raiders finishing with 4 wins. I got the Chargers in second.
But Caleb, every time I asked you a question about the Raiders against Chargers, you didn't.
I said the Chargers are better. I said the Chargers are better.
He did.
Yeah, I said the Chargers were better.
Connor, you're not listening. He said that's what he said.
I'm saying the Chargers will finish second and the Raiders will finish last. That's where I had them.
I know what you said, but when I started breaking down each position, you got quiet.
No, I'm saying Receiving core, Chargers are better. Quarterback, Chargers are better. In terms of offensive line, I would say they're pretty equal. They both have pretty good offensive lines.
Receiving core, Raiders are better.
No, Chargers are better.
Okay.
If I said Raiders, I'm mistaken.
You said Raiders, so
Well, I said Chargers. Chargers are better.
All right, I got you.
Defensively, Chargers have namesake, but that's about it. They can't match the Raiders. I would say maybe the Chargers have a slight edge, but it's like by a razor's edge. Not exactly a wide margin.
Chargers just, they did add to that offense. They added to that offensive line too.
Yeah. They get Corey Linsley, who's a fantastic center. They draft Rashawn Slater, who I
was
really
going to say Rashawn Slater is the big name because you easily take Rashawn Slater over Alex Leatherwood, who the Raiders picked up, who I was forced to fucking defend in our stupid thing at school. Remember when I had to do that shit? I had to dress up in black and silver and shit and say, the Raiders selected Alex Leatherwood because he's really good. Just win, baby. Fuck, God, that was terrible. That sucked.
Well, one thing Slater has over Leatherwood is Slater, A, he's more agile, B, he has better technique. Leatherwood's a physical freak, but he's far from ready.
No, I know. And that's why
I disagree.
Did you watch him at Alabama?
I think Leatherwood will have very good technique.
I mean, I'm not saying like he's going to be awful. Like I've seen awful lineman technique. I'm not saying he's going to be terrible, but
I'm not saying that you think he's going to be terrible. I'm just saying I think Leatherwood will be actually a very good underrated first round pick. That has nothing to do with here and there. Caleb, let's move on to the AFC South.
Hold on, Zanker. I am assuming that you say the Chiefs win the South.
What?
Zanker. The West, sorry. You said South.
Yeah,
that was on my mind. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I said the Chiefs, and then it's Chargers, who I think are going to push them until the last week or two for first place.
Okay.
Both teams with 11 to 13 wins.
All right. We're heading down south to where nobody cares about those teams. We got the Colts, Titans, Texans, and Jags. I got the Titans winning the South this year. It was a real draw for me, but I have the Titans edging out the Colts by one win. Sheehan, who do you have?
I have the Titans. I mean, I'm going to make this answer elaborated, though it does not need to be. But the Titans are the defending division champions. They have King Henry. They have a established quarterback. They have a defense that was not good last year, but they probably made a couple improvements on this year. They have a wide receiving core that, what the fuck? I mean, Julio Jones with A.J. Brown. Come on now. So they're my clear-cut number one.
Okay.
Hey, can you name their number 3 wide receiver?
No, I cannot, but it doesn't matter.
I know who it is. It's going to be Josh Reynolds. It's either Josh Reynolds or Khalif Raymond. Raymond was their 3 last year. Reynolds they picked up from the Rams.
I was gonna play Khalif Raymond, but I said, you know what? He's not number 3.
Well, he was last year.
Listen, just because he was last year doesn't mean that he's a legit option at number 3.
No, it'll probably be Reynolds. It'll be Reynolds. Yeah, they picked up from the Rams.
Correct. Khalif Raymond is a number fucking 3. He's a punt option. But what I'm saying is the Titans have enough options to be the number 1 option. Carson Wentz is not going to lead the Indianapolis Colts to number 1. He's barely going to lead them number 2.
I personally say that Carson Wentz will be very good in Indy. I think he'll do good.
It's not your turn, Caleb.
I thought we were just kind of flying off. No,
we're not. You're the fucking driver.
All right.
Fuck Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz isn't going to do shit. But I will say this. They will be the number 2 option. Number 3 will be the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the only reason why I don't think that Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans will be any higher is because I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to play.
Shocker.
If Deshaun Watson plays, I have them as the number one option.
He won't play.
Excuse me.
They'll just
number
pay
two.
him. They'll just pay him
Number
his
two.
$10 million and They'll just pay him his $10 million and deactivate him.
If Deshaun Watson plays, he's the number two option, not the number one, because the Tennessee Titans have a better roster than the Texans. The Texans have a trash ass organization, but I'm putting the Texans at number 4. Colin, Zanker Spankers, you next.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where all the preseason Indy love all came from. So I've been on Tennessee's jockstrap from fucking go, and then they add Julio Jones, and the only question for me is how Tannehill makes this year. I still think they're number 1.
So you pick the Titans.
They should the Titans as well. Now Tannehill could easily go back, and he could have a season where he had his one career kind of year. And that's what I'm afraid of, because if something happens more so to Derrick Henry and Ryan Tannehill is relied upon in that offense to be the man to do everything, that team is going to suffer, and they're going to suffer mightily, because I don't think Tannehill can lead the team without that rushing attack of Derrick Henry. So, yeah, Tennessee's easily number 1 with the roster they have, but they're also not deep, which was your big argument for San Diego. And so that division, I think, could really beat each other up, especially because I think the Jaguars are trying to get a name made for themselves this year, and to start that under Urban Meyer. And it could all go to shit and be a firestorm, but I don't think it's going to turn out that way.
The Jags, it's looking.
I think that they're. I think they're going to surprise some people, and obviously, going to have some wins on their schedule that you didn't expect from them. So,
well, it won't be because
I
of
can
Urban.
see I can see a lot of fighting within this division as far as position goes. And this one will come down to the last week of the season within this division, because it's going to be close. I don't think Tennessee runs away with it like that easily.
I have it going that way as well. I have the last game between Tennessee and Indianapolis deciding this division, probably just because I'm more on the Colts side than most people. But I'll get to that later when we get into our wild cards. Spoiler alert. Let's get into the AFC East. Sheehan, who do you have winning the AFC East this year? You're muted, or we can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Oh, I know you said the Bills, but you're still muted. So I'll go. It's definitely the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen.
All right.
What's so great about this division is that it's basically a given.
Though it
I know.
It should be competitive.
You have 2 rookie quarterbacks, and then you have Tua, who I'm worried about his injury history and him staying healthy all year.
Fair.
And being consistent. And the Bills are in the same fucking breath as the Chiefs as far as, tell me where they got worse this offseason. Because I don't see where they got worse. They only got better. They added another veteran wide receiver. Their running back situation is, it's like a 33% split between 3 guys. I mean, however they do it with Zach, I know Zach Moss is in there. That team they didn't need the running game. They didn't need a singular guy to run the rock. They had a rotation. So for the Bills, they didn't get worse anywhere. So that's why they're easily the winner. And, I know I've said this stat, but the games that they won, there was only 2 games out of the 13 they won that were within 3 points last year. They are blowing the doors off of people. And that division with 2 rookie quarterbacks starting that don't have any good backup either, by the way. If either Sam Darnold or Mac Jones gets hurt, who the fuck are the Patriots or the Jets starting? It's a walk away.
Okay. And I agree. I think it'll be competitive. I think it'll be tight. It won't be like a blowout, but particularly I think Miami with the roster that they have, and I'm higher on Tua. I think that the Dolphins with the roster they have, they should give the Bills maybe a fight, but I still have the Bills winning this division. Though I do have New England and Miami both fighting for at least wild card spots by the end of the season.
You are crazy.
I'm not crazy.
I mean, the only way
reasons.
The only way that those guys are those bottom three of the division are like the AFC South last year. Like it's just not going to be. I just don't see it being that good.
Fine.
The Dolphins are the best of the worst.
I think we're not giving the Dolphins enough credit. They have a good defense. And their offense did add some talent. Of course, now we got to see if Tua's going to be able to put it together. I hope he does, and I think he should. And if he does, then I think that's a 12-win team if Tua puts it together. But it's not enough to win the division because I think Buffalo's going to win 13 games.
You're still muted, Connor.
We're still not hearing you, Connor. No, we'll got you.
He's going to restart.
Yeah, Buffalo wins. Buffalo wins the division.
So no, we'll stay on this until he gets back because he can obviously hear us. Yeah, or could hear us. But I honestly don't see where that role goes because last year, the Dolphins put in Fitzpatrick and they had to put him in the Broncos game. Yeah. I know they were doing the shuffling, but I don't believe that organization has faith in him. They were the rumors are that up until even this last cut day 4 days ago, that they were still trying to trade for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I've been hearing
that organization isn't sold on him. And it's a lot like the Broncos in that way. They weren't sold on Drew Lock in shopping and trying to get another quarterback into Denver. Miami isn't sold on Tua. So that should tell you all you need to know about the quarterback position in Miami is that they're not sold on him. So they feel that they don't have a quarterback. And if they don't feel they have a quarterback, I don't see how they can be confident enough to go in and win games, especially games to get in the playoffs.
I agree with you on that, is that Miami doesn't appear to be sold on Tua Tagovailoa because, here's the thing. I say if you want Tua to succeed, you have to have that confidence in him. Like, hey, we picked him top 5 overall. He's our guy. We're going forward with Tua Tagovailoa. If Tua isn't good, then the Deshaun Watson rumors will just keep going. Or maybe they'll throw their hat into the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes next year. I wouldn't blame them if they did.
I bet they were already in it.
Yeah, I know. They'll probably throw their hat in the Rodgers sweepstakes if Tua isn't good. But I do think the Dolphins could have handled it better. If you didn't believe Tua was going to be it, why you keep trying to just kind of dangle him around like a string? If you don't believe he's it, then it's kind of not that hard to read the tea leaves in Miami.
Caleb, it's not even about reading the tea leaves. Miami only put him out there in the way that they did was for Deshaun Jackson. Now,
hey, I think you misspoke.
I mean, Watson.
No.
Deshaun Jackson?
Oh, I'm sorry. Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's still Jackson.
If you can't remember his name, it goes to show you how much.
Listen, I'm not a Miami fan. But they only
I'm not a Chargers fan either.
They only put their names out there for Deshaun Watson. That's it. Deshaun Watson is obviously better than Tua Tagovailoa. Okay? Now, Miami, when they look at it, who's a better option at quarterback than Tua other than Deshaun Watson? Both of you. Who's a better option? Name one name. One name. Who's a better option?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Nah, I would say. Oh my gosh, there's so many to name.
So many to name, better than Deshaun Watson.
No,
The
you said better than Tua.
Yeah, better than Tua.
Yeah, you said better than Tua, Connor.
Yeah, right now as we stand, there are better options.
Okay, let me correct myself. Who's better than Deshaun Watson for the Miami Dolphins? Better than Tua than Deshaun Watson. That's what I meant. Let me correct myself.
Anyone anyone with the talent but not the legal baggage.
No.
You know what? No, I'll give you the straight answer. Anyone who doesn't have 22 lawsuits filed against them in a court.
No.
He's right.
Yes, that is the better option, right?
He's
right now, this moment, that's the best option. Any quarterback who can step on the field that doesn't have 22 lawsuits. Because you know what you do if you don't have a quarterback, you can't throw or do anything. You just hand it off or give it to Kendall Hinton to be a quarterback and make a wide receiver from your practice squad, the QB. You know, that's because Deshaun Watson can't see the field. If Deshaun Watson goes to Miami with these legal lawsuits and they play him, the uproar and the shitstorm that they will find the wrath of everybody for that. It will be a terrible PR move, and it should never happen. Deshaun Watson shouldn't play at all this whole season. I know the NFL can't investigate, and that's a plan from Houston, but the best option right now is anybody that doesn't have 22 legal lawsuits against them filed.
So at this point right now, as much as they may not believe in him, Tua looks like he's going to be not only their best option, their only option rolling forward, unless these 22 cases get magically resolved.
All right. So maybe that's a correction on my part. I should not even led with that. You're right. But as I said last week, undocumented, when I went on to the Miami Dolphins podcast of their fans who are just like us, who go to each week and they just stay tuned. Every Miami Dolphin fan that I came across, whether it's Twitter, YouTube, whatever, they all thought that Tua had increased his footwork, his pocket presence, and his just overall throwing. So, the two of you saying what the fuck you just said, how are you two different than the way that Miami fans that actually interpret the actual training camps, the way that we interpret the training camps? Why are you two different? Because every Miami fan that I did my deep research, I went onto the crevices of YouTube for Miami Dolphin fans. They all love Tua Tagovailoa. They all love him. So what makes you two different?
Well, all the fans do, but look, I would go into it the same way as the Broncos quarterback situation. If Teddy Bridgewater went in there, he would have won that quarterback competition over Tua Tagovailoa.
That's different. They're not looking at it that way. Who is competing against Tua? Who is competing?
Nobody.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Nobody was competing against Tua. That's what I'm saying.
Well, what I'm saying, so here's the thing. I've been higher on Tua than most people. I actually believe in Tua Tagovailoa as a talent and as a prospect. I think, obviously, where he stands right now, he has some room to make up, and that's why I said there are better options. But I also do believe he will go out and prove people wrong. I think I've been higher on Tua than most. So I picked the Dolphins as a 12-win team this year because of Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, and I just think that the Miami Dolphins are easily the second class, the second team in this division. But I don't think that what is separating the Dolphins from New England right now is that much. I really don't think the separation for the bottom is that far, because I know you said, Connor, you just said all these things about Tua that were said about Drew Lock in the preseason also. And you know what? I'll believe it when I see it in live action games and consistently. And so I haven't seen it yet, so I don't believe it. And I also don't believe that he's going to be healthy for a whole season, and that once he goes down, they're fucked.
I mean, that is a fair assessment. Like, Jacoby Brissett is serviceable, but then they're leaning on that defense. They're going to be leaning on the defense with Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett, who everyone has talked shit about how he led the Colts after Andrew Luck.
Well, he's
No, that's what I'm.
He's serviceable. He's fine.
He's fine. Okay, he's fine. That's what I want for my quarterback. Is fine. That's what we have in Teddy Bridgewater. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's
they're
okay.
in the same class. He's okay.
Connor,
but
you're hitting
guys.
something. Yeah, Connor, you're hitting something on your shit, and you keep muting yourself. No, dude, fix your shit.
Okay, so I assume we know Connor is going to pick Buffalo. Just nod your head yes if you're going to pick
He already
the Bills.
said the Bills. He
okay,
said the Bills
fine.
already.
I'll pencil in for the Bills. Let's move on to the North. This is going to be a little more interesting because you have two teams that I know there's more consensus leaning one way than the other. But the North.
NFC or AFC? What
AFC North.
AFC North.
Profit, who you have?
AFC North, you kind of have to go with the one that you said was going to make it to the Super Bowl this year. And I'm sticking with it. It's Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, you're
give me
really
a break.
high. You're like a lot of people, including myself. You're real high on the Browns.
I mean, I was high on them to beat even the Chiefs in the postseason last year.
Yeah.
And I'm not off of that because it's same thing. You know, these guys I'm picking for the divisions, same thing as the Bills, same thing as the Chiefs. Tell me where they got worse this offseason. I mean, I know how much you love OBJ, Caleb. He's coming back.
I don't love him.
And also they
add something.
I know.
You love him.
You don't love.
I don't love him.
I'm just gonna be shit. You,
You
don't
love
I
him.
But
I like him.
But he's coming back.
Nah, you love him.
Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb has a new contract, so we'll see how that plays out. But even if Chubb gets happy with his money and sits on his ass, which I don't believe he will, they still have fucking Kareem Hunt, even though he might not be the greatest person in the world. They still have him running the ball. They add Jadeveon Clowney. You know, it's a team that just got better in the offseason. And like I said, I picked them to beat the Chiefs in the postseason last year, and they really should have. But I think that experience for this team going through that, it builds that fire, and they really do. Like, I think they just trounce this division.
I got okay, so y'all already know I put my bet out there. I saw the talent that the Ravens added, and their schedule is one of the easiest in the league. I have them 15-2.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I have them splitting with Cleveland.
15-2?
I have them splitting with Cleveland and beating everyone else in their division. They're going to split with the Browns.
Who's their second loss?
I have to go through the schedule again, but I remember.
Who's their second? No, I want to know who their second loss is.
Oh,
I want to know who their second loss is.
I wrote it. I remember. I remember. I wrote this down, but I have Ravens going.
Yo, Colin, keep talking to him. I have to go to the bathroom. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to empty out some of that stuff you're putting in your butt.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, it's ridiculous that Caleb would ever say 15-2.
No, I mean, let him. Did you have him losing to what? Back to the Packers in the next week?
So let me.
I'm trying to see where.
I'm going through their schedule.
I'm trying to pick out. I am too. I'm trying to see what your second loss is for them. All right, because obviously you have them beating the Broncos, even though it's in Denver.
Yeah, I have them beat. It's because I think
you hate the Broncos.
No, it's just that I think if we're going offense to offense, I can't see Teddy beating out Lamar.
Oh, Chiefs beating him?
No, I had them beat the Chiefs this time. Yes, I think it happens. I think it happens this time. Beat the Chargers, beat the Raiders rather convincingly.
Yeah. It's got to be back-to-back weeks or
yeah.
I said where they lose to the Packers.
I said they'll lose to Cleveland one time and they'll lose to Green Bay. That's it.
Yeah. That Green Bay one I could see there because it's in Baltimore. Man, they do have an easy schedule, but I also so for the North too, I have. Going into it, I think Pittsburgh is going to be the worst team in the division this year. I think the Cincinnati Bengals take the third spot while it goes the Browns, then the Ravens. I think they're two really good. And I don't believe in Roethlisberger.
No, there's no reason to.
Yeah, they have Juju and Claypool. But they drafted Najee. They have nobody to block for him. Their defense, they have Watt, which is the centerpiece, and he's a damn good piece. But his brother in Houston, showed that it takes a lot more than one piece to be a good defense.
Well, yeah, they lost
And
Steven Nelson, who's their best corner. They lost Bud Dupree. So
they just made a trade today for a cornerback too from the Seahawks, all right?
Yeah, Witherspoon, who's like the third corner on that roster.
Yeah, and so the way that things started when they went 7-0 to start the season last year, or was it 6-0?
11-0. They went 11-0.
That's right. Yeah, because there was one other team at 7-0, and there was just them. But they went 11-0, and then they lost. Was it 3 out of the last 5? Because they ended 13.
So they went 11-0. Yeah, they lost. They went 1-4 down the stretch because they ended 1-4. Yeah, they went 1-4 down the stretch. Right. Then they got blown out by the Browns. I don't believe in Pittsburgh either. I think Ben's arm is shot. He can't throw much anymore. Their receivers have clearly regressed in almost every area. I like Najee Harris, and their defense. I think they'd even still be a top 10 unit, but it won't be what it was last year.
It can't be a top 10 unit in that division, though. Look at the offenses that they have to play against. Like, how can you play those teams, play each of those teams a total of 6 times and your defense be a top defense? Like, the Broncos' sake, they at least get to play the Raiders. I mean, like in some of these divisions, that's why the Bills are a top defense to me. Because look at who they're playing. I mean, the Bills are playing 2 rookie quarterbacks and a guy who can't stay healthy and an offense that is questionable. So, I can't see any of these defenses, including Baltimore's or Cleveland, being a great defense overall. Like, for fantasy football, they could be like streaming picks each week, but I just don't see at the end of the season how they can be ranked so high because they're going up against each other in these matchups that are going to be high scoring. I mean, that Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens game with the poop game. I mean, that was what, 42-37 or 36 or something? 47-42. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to happen all season here because these defenses are going to get run. It's not a good division to have weaknesses on defense, and I don't think Big Ben and that Steelers offense can keep up to even Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins in fucking Cincinnati. So that's why Cincinnati is my 3rd spot.
All right,
Cleveland,
Connor.
Baltimore, Cincy, Pittsburgh.
Connor, who you got one in the North?
I got Cleveland.
All right.
He jumped on the bandwagon.
It's hard not to. I mean, I picked them to go 13-4.
Nah, listen. I got Cleveland winning because it doesn't matter what I think about their quarterback. It really doesn't. It really has no difference of what I think about Cleveland's quarterback because I think Cleveland has a trash quarterback, but that's nothing to do with that. Cleveland has the best team. They have the best team in the North. The number 2 team, I will give it to Baltimore. It has nothing to do with what I think about Lamar Jackson and his regression because I've been waiting on Lamar Jackson's regression for 2 years.
This is the 3rd year. Right.
But last year he regressed in every statistical category that it takes for a quarterback. He regressed, and even running, he regressed. So it's hard for me to put them at number 2, but I will because I don't think Pittsburgh's that good.
Okay.
Pittsburgh's only good because of TJ Watt. Let's be honest. I mean, what like Deshaun or Big Ben's going to throw to who? Juju? Come on. They're number 3, in my opinion.
All right.
I'm not even going to talk about number 4. But number 1 is Baltimore. Excuse me.
Number one's Cleveland,
number-
2 Baltimore.
No, I know. Number 2 is Baltimore. Out of a very close judgment call. Just because I don't think that the North is as competitive as everybody thinks. I will put Cleveland at number 1, but it just Baker worries me. And at number 2, Lamar worries me. I don't think that the AFC North has a solidified number 1 quarterback. I just don't think so.
I personally think I'm not worried about Baker or Lamar. I think they're both.
Dude,
very
Lamar regressed last year.
I get his stats aren't as good, but I think he's a very solid passer. He's still a very good athlete, very good runner. He fits that offense. It's built for him, and he has success in it.
Listen, Caleb, I'll give you this. Before we move on to the next division, I'll give you this. The AFC North with the Cleveland Browns are good if OBJ is not starting.
All right.
Hey,
We're not going to get into that, but
the one thing I do want to say
shared our thoughts
with Lamar is that I trust in Harbaugh enough to realize where he made a mistake with Lamar last year. I trust in him to
there you go.
fix
It's not on
what he.
Lamar. It's not on John Harbaugh.
It is on Harbaugh. He's the
Some
coach.
of it is.
not.
Some
No,
of it
it's
is.
not.
Some of it is.
Some of it is
No,
on
it's
Harbaugh.
not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
Yes,
You guys
it
are
is.
crazy. You
It
guys are
is.
crazy.
He helps engineer
Who?
that offense.
How? No, he doesn't. He's a
Yes.
special teams coach.
He
He
helps.
fucking guides the team like Mike Tomlin does the special teams. He's not a fucking offensive defensive coach. What are you guys talking about?
Well, Mike Ditka was a DC. Well, Mike Ditka was an OC. He was a special teams coach, and he was an offensive guy.
He was
He
a
was-
defensive coach. What are you talking about?
No, that was Buddy Ryan. Ditka
no,
was
but
an
he still
offensive
had
guy.
input.
Ditka was an offensive guy. He
He
worked
still
with
had
Peyton.
input.
He worked with, not with Buddy Ryan. Not with Ryan.
Yeah.
Dude, Ryan ran
Yeah, Buddy
things his own
Ryan
way.
is a.
Mike Ditka said
He
anytime.
would have dropped his
Mike
shit
Ditka-
and left if,
Yeah.
if Mike Ditka tried to say anything. That's what all the Ryans are like. I mean, give me a break.
Mike Ditka said that one time he tried to go into a meeting and he threw an eraser at him.
All right, forget it. Forget the Ryan example then. Forget the Ryan example.
Okay, but you're wrong.
But but I believe
We're
I believe
talking
in
about the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, and I see Harbaugh noticing where mistakes were as the
John
coach.
Harbaugh is a special teams coach.
But he also has offensive input.
What are you talking about, Caleb?
He does.
Dude, he's a head coach.
He's going to have his input. That's who he is. That's how he runs things.
He
has
watches
no
all the
offensive input.
Yeah, he does.
What are you talking about? Who's their offensive coordinator?
Greg Roman. Yeah, it's Greg Roman. He's been the
No.
offensive coordinator there for the past few years.
2
Every year
years.
Lamar's. No,
2 years.
he's been there every year. Lamar's been the QB.
Okay, that's my point. Greg Roman was the offensive coordinator of Colin Kaepernick in the Super Bowl year, right?
Correct.
Okay, so you fast forward the next year. His offensive year was Lamar Jackson. I mean, and that's not even like fast forwarding because we could talk shit about Greg Roman and his gap between Colin Kaepernick and Lamar Jackson. But let's just say Lamar Jackson's first year in the NFL, Greg Roman did what?
Made him MVP. Or
the second year.
second year was MVP.
Well,
Second
first
was-
year.
yeah.
First year. What
first
did
year-
Greg Roman do?
Well, first year the Ravens were sitting at 3-6, and then Lamar came in and he won 7 of 8 games.
Caleb, what did Greg Roman do first year with Lamar Jackson? I'm not asking for these semantics. I'm saying, what did he do with him?
He adapted the offense to put it to his strengths.
Okay, so second year, he got MVP with him.
Yeah, it was all that. They continued that.
Okay.
And so this is why I say Harbaugh's input comes in, because in the third year they tried to add too much of different things that didn't work. So this is where Harbaugh comes in and says
they tried to turn themselves into
too much.
Yeah, they tried to turn themselves into another version of the Kansas City offense, which that's not their strength. They tried to make They tried to make themselves into a pseudo air raid offense where they threw.
Tell me what? Tell me with what player?
With Lamar Jackson, they tried to make themselves into a pseudo air raid.
No, Lamar Jackson, a pseudo fucking air raid player. Tell me what wide receiver?
What, Marquise Brown, Willie Snead?
Yes, they tried to do these things and they didn't work. With who? With who they had last year.
With who I just said.
Yeah.
Yo, you guys are crazy.
With Hollywood,
are crazy.
They tried to do it with Hollywood Brown and Willie Snead. Those are not legitimate deep threats, at least not from what we've seen. They tried to make themselves a pseudo air raid offense, which they're not good enough to be. So I think Harbaugh and Roman will go back and they'll say, okay, let's go back to what we're good at.
Yes.
So they're better with fucking what's his name from Kansas City?
Sammy Watkins.
So they're better with Sammy Watkins.
He'll add something that Hollywood Brown doesn't.
Oh, you're crazy.
He'll add something.
Caleb, you're such a homer, dog.
No, he'll add something that Brown doesn't.
No, and honestly, that offense, that's not what they needed to do. No. That's why I'm going to go back to my point. Harbaugh gets in there and says, let's go back to what works. Roman says, okay, you're right. That's what fucking worked with Lamar and an MVP, and let's do that again. That's what I'm saying. Because, Connor, I'm glad you keep muting yourself because you're talking a bunch of nonsense right now. Like, seriously.
Who did they sign that, like, represents what you're talking about?
Well,
Sammy Watkins.
Only that.
No, I'm talking about the running game.
Their running game is hurt.
They have J.K. Dobbins.
No, they don't.
J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, you want to make a bet? No, they don't.
No, they have J.K. Dobbins. What are you talking about?
Dobbins is out for the year.
Dobbins is out for the year.
Okay.
Go look it up.
So who's next?
Gus Edwards.
So who's next? Oh, so you're putting on Gus Edwards. Okay, wow.
Well, it's not just all on him.
Good for you. Good for you, Zanker Spankers. Gus Edwards is really going to be that guy.
It's not just on Gus. It's not just on Edwards. It's Lamar, too. Lamar brings something to that rushing game.
I already told you that. I don't think Lamar's going to be that guy. I already told you that.
He doesn't have to be that guy. You can split the distribution.
I've already said that Lamar will not be that guy. And if you're relying upon Gus Edwards, what the fuck is your offense? It's nothing.
It distributes.
It's my God.
The Ravens offense.
And then they have Mark, and it's Mark Andrews also.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. You guys, I would think that you guys are fucking Baltimore homers.
I'm not a Baltimore homer. I recognize that they know how to distribute on their offense and not put it all on one player.
They have nothing.
They have something now. They drafted
outside of Mark Andrews. They have nothing.
They drafted two really good wideouts in Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay. They're going to add something to the offense.
Wow, just like the year before, they thought they had like two good wideouts. Okay,
they're decent. Go. They're not great. They're decent.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Well,
decent. Let's go. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Connor. I think besides Caleb picking him first, we both picked him second.
Who?
Like you did.
Who?
You did. I did. I picked same thing. Cleveland, then Baltimore. We both picked him second.
Yeah. No, I know I put Baltimore second, but you guys didn't even put any sort of reason why Baltimore would be first. Because both
I don't think they're going to be first.
I think they're going to be first, and I've laid out why.
Caleb, your reason for Baltimore being first was just terrible.
No, I said their offense will be improved, and the defense should be too. With Patrick Queen coming into his second year, they've upgraded that pass rush, and they have made additions in the secondary. I think they'll be good so I think that they will definitely be better this year. And again, with a lot of the teams they have.
You also thought Drew Lock would be the starter for the year.
Okay, true. I was wrong. Well, yeah, so did you. What, you want me to throw that back at you? You thought Drew was going to be the starter too.
I'm the only one here who can throw that at either of you because I called it from before the shit started. So
He's
Connor,
right.
you can mute yourself again because I called that shit.
He is right. He is right.
Like, listen, the reasons why Baltimore is 2 for me was I had Pittsburgh at 4.
Wait, let's stop. Let's stop. Let's
stop
division,
because you're done yelling. Jesus Christ.
because you guys got me. This division is not worth it. Let's go to who's the natural next winner.
So now we're going into the NFC. We're done with the AFC.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Let's forget this conversation that we're having. Caleb, go ahead.
That's on tape. It's not getting forgotten.
Yeah, and let the record be shown that. So
Caleb said,
on to the East.
Caleb has said plenty of dumb shit before.
I don't think I have, but whatever. Let's go to the NFC. Let's go to the NFC East. Let's go to the meme division, where you have name redacted, Dallas, Philadelphia, and the New Jersey Giants, as one person so lovingly called them, and they deserve to be called that. So, shouts out to Tom Grassi for that nickname. So, Zanker Spanker, Prophet, who do you have winning the NFC East?
Honestly, I've struggled with this, and I think I'm settling on Dallas. I am settling on Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're picking the Cowboys.
I think it's going down to the last game again in the season. Okay. And I don't like it. I feel dirty because I love Fitzmagic, and I like that. And that defense in Washington for that football team.
Problem is he's too
led by the defensive rookie of the year is like great. But I also have seen what Fitzmagic does as a starter full time.
Exactly. And consistent.
I think that the highs are really high, but the lows are too low. And it's funny that they brought in Heineke, his backup in Washington, they kept Heineke, who started the playoff game for them, who was probably going to be their starter for the season if they didn't get Fitzmagic. So
I actually think Heineke looks better, honestly. I saw Heineke looks better than Fitz.
But I in a regular season game, I trust Fitzpatrick way more. But Dallas, that team is really good. None of these teams played great defense overall. Washington has a good core, but you get them into one singular mindset, like one singular thing, where if they can't just tee off on the quarterback, I think they're in trouble. Yeah. So Dallas, I think, has the tools and the weapons on offense to beat that defense. So that's why Dallas is first, Washington second.
All right. And you're right. When Fitzpatrick is bad, it's not just bad. He's really bad.
Oh, yeah. Train wreck.
Yeah. Sheehan, who do you have winning the East?
Washington.
All right.
Caleb, going to the next topic. Running out of time. Washington.
Yeah, all right. I picked Washington as well. I think the defense is good enough. Let's go to the NFC South. I think this is a given division.
Buccaneers next.
It has to be the Bucs. It's got to be Tampa Bay. Though Mason would. Mason would disagree.
Go to the West.
All right, NFC West. I'm picking the Los Angeles Rams. I like Stafford in that offense. Defense is still stacked as ever. I'm going with the Rams.
Connor next.
Zinkers.
Connor. Damn
All right,
it.
Connor.
No. You're next. Colin, you're next.
The Rams are too good. I really want to choose Arizona, but I can't.
You're going with the Rams?
I can't. I am. I want. My heart says Arizona, but my mind just says it has to be the Rams.
Okay.
Okay, so me next.
Yeah.
So the Rams defense last year was the number 1 rated defense in the NFL. Okay, cool. Go ahead. They lost a couple pieces. Okay, so let's talk about offense. Okay, Matthew Stafford was there, right? He's an increase over Jared Goff. I am a Matthew Stafford. I'm I don't know what you want to call him, but I'm a Matthew Stafford
Fan.
And
All right, we'll call him fan. I'm a Matthew Stafford fan, but I am more of a Kyler Murray fan, especially with DeAndre Hopkins.
All right.
Okay, who's the number 2 wide receiver?
AJ
Brown.
Green.
Who they
Nope.
said that?
AJ Green.
green.
Even
The
though
other color.
No,
he's nowhere
but-
near what he was.
But AJ Green, but
Even though
they
he's
said
nowhere
that,
near what he was.
but they said that he was looking better,
I've
right?
heard that for like 8 off seasons about AJ Green, and then he gets hurt in
Nah.
game 2.
No.
He's had
They-
one season. He's had one season where he's played all the games.
It's
Nah.
true. It's true.
But they didn't talk about him like this. AJ Green.
We did every
We
year
hear
in
it every year.
Cincinnati.
We hear it
Nah,
every year.
You guys are haters.
We're not
Hey,
haters.
Green.
We're
I
realists.
told you I was.
Stop it. It's my turn. Stop it. It's my turn. AJ Green, DeAndre Hopkins. Who's the number 3?
Christian
Christian
Kirk.
Kirk.
Christian Kirk was showing out like a number 2. And he's going to sit there with AJ Green right there. All right, let me finish.
Because he had to be number 2.
Chase Edmonds is going to be a top 5 running back in the NFL.
Oh,
Okay.
Lord, you've got to be kidding me.
Chase Edmonds is going to be a top 5 running back.
Oh,
Okay.
I can't wait. for
No,
that
let me
fantasy
finish.
draft.
Let me finish.
There's a bold pick.
And the Arizona defense, baby boy. The Arizona
It's okay.
defense
It's okay.
is sitting there top 7.
Yeah,
Top
I believe
7.
they're a good defense.
Potentially, yes. Potentially there. You're wrong on
Russell
Edmonds, though.
Wilson. Russell Wilson having his troubles is what I'll put it as. Russell Wilson's troubles with the Seattle Seahawks will put them at number 2. Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins is number 1, baby.
Okay.
So
you
you're
know what
going
that is not.
Arizona, Seattle, then the Rams, and then San Fran.
I've been saying that.
I thought you were talking about how there could be a change in the guard where Seattle's lower in
No,
the division.
Colin, you know I've been saying that.
No, I'm talking about Seattle.
All right.
Fuck Seattle.
All right. How about this? Let's go through our wild card teams real quick for the AFC and NFC. 3 wild card teams. Your
You better
picks.
hurry up because we're running out of time.
All right. Here's my 3 AFC wild card picks: Indy, Miami, and hold on. I had these written down. Like I have all my predictions right here. Just making sure I have the right ones. Let me see. Wild cards. Who do I have for my teams? Oh yeah,
I don't know. I wasn't there.
my wild card teams. I got Cleveland, Miami, Indianapolis. Those are my wild cards. For the
Baltimore.
Profit. What do you have?
Baltimore. Yeah, Baltimore.
Muted. Can't hear you.
Oh,
Oh, hold
just
on.
like
Okay, go ahead.
Baltimore,
Okay.
Chargers.
So you got
Oh,
Baltimore
God.
Chargers.
And it's still just. Yeah, I think I got to go Indy because of how terrible Houston and Jackson. Like Jacksonville might surprise teams, but I think Indy's got to. It's going to be. They're going to be. It might be an 8-9 team in the AFC.
Okay.
Honestly, Miami might win 9 games. We're raced to 9. Miami, Indy, but I think Indy will get 9.
Okay, that's fair. Sheehan, who are your 3 AFC wild cards?
Baltimore.
Okay.
Let's say Indianapolis.
Okay. You got Indy.
Here's number 3.
Yeah.
Broncos.
Ooh.
And I
Okay.
stand by that. I stand by that. I live
There it
by it.
is.
I stand by it. I live by it. I believe it.
All right.
Hey,
NFC.
Colin.
Did we do NFC North?
Wait.
Yeah.
You know how much I hate Teddy Bridgewater. I don't hate him, but you know how much I dislike Teddy Bridgewater. Okay, that's the Broncos starting quarterback.
That might as well be your whole prediction.
I mean, you had them at 8-9 this year. I mean, you had them at 8-9 this year, so it means the AFC is going to be
yeah,
really bad.
yeah, correct.
We'll do that. We'll get smoked by the 2 seed.
Did we? By the way, did we skip the NFC
the North? I forgot to do the
NFC
North.
Are we all choosing? Are we all? I'm Green Bay.
It's Green Bay. It's got to be Green Bay.
Connor,
who else?
NFC North. Do you have Green Bay also?
Who else would I pick?
Minnesota.
Shut up, Colin.
Chicago Bears with your favorite player, Justin Fields.
Shut up. Who else
Detroit,
would I pick?
maybe
Go
Detroit
ahead.
Lions,
No, stop it. Go
Detroit
ahead.
is a sleeper.
No, Caleb, go ahead. Pick the next one.
Okay.
Caleb, pick the next one.
Now we're on to the NFC wild cards. This was a little different for me. But if I remember correctly, here were my NFC wild cards. Now it's not an inspiring list. I have Seattle as the first one. I got Arizona as the second. And despite going 8-9 in my predictions, with how bad the conference is, the Bears get the 9th seed. Congratulations. 7th
Bears.
seed. The Bears get the 7th seed. Congratulations. Despite going 8-9. That's how bad this conference is.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later.
You got to go, Sheehan.
I'm kidding.
No.
All right.
I'm kidding.
All right.
Wow. The Bears. Holy
that shit is retarded.
They're 8-9. That's how bad this conference is. You should see how bad my prediction is.
Caleb, you're retarded. Caleb,
okay.
That's retarded.
Jesus.
Okay. I mean,
who's yours, Connor? Oh.
Who's my winner for the NFC North?
No. Who's
your wild cards? Who's your
That's the wild cards he's talking about.
Nobody in the NFC North.
So who are your wild cards?
NFC.
NFC.
Stop. NFC South, baby. Jameis Winston is gonna get him there, boy.
Oh boy, here we go, New Orleans.
That's why you don't cut me off, Zanker Spankers. It's gonna be fucking NFC South, Jameis Winston, and the New Orleans Saints getting there behind Tom Brady.
Okay,
so that's one team. Wild card.
Who's your second team?
Who's my second team?
Yeah, you have 3 wild cards in the NFC. First is New Orleans.
You want to know what my number 2 is?
Absolutely.
Atlanta Falcons.
Okay.
Who's 3?
Okay, who's 3?
New York Giants.
Wow.
Daniel Jones is going to show out this year.
This is like the hot take of wild card picks. Oh my god.
Man.
Yeah. Caleb, what the hell did you expect? I
expected a couple West teams.
No, I'm telling you. Jameis Winston is going to join the South with a fucking playoff spot. Daniel Jones is going to give so much. Much.
I have them going 6-11 this year.
Yeah, but Caleb, you don't know shit.
Yes, I do. That team is not very good.
Caleb, you thought that Drew Lock was going to be the starter.
Oh,
so you don't know shit.
So did you. You thought Drew Lock was going to be the starter. You don't know shit,
Caleb.
You thought Drew Lock was going to be the starter.
Caleb, you don't know shit.
I'll let the one who's making the most sense today finish this up and just say it is Arizona and Seattle is the wild cards.
Okay.
And then,
finish it up.
Who's the other wild card team? You got one more spot.
Nah, Caleb, finish it up. It's 7:39.
Okay,
Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay, Minnesota. Well, granted, they have up years and down years, so this would be their up year for sticking with narratives. Yep. This has been a
second year.
This has been a very interesting edition of the Undrafted. I cannot wait to see how Connor's wild cards play out. That's going to be freaking hilarious because I have 2 of his wildcard teams picking top 10 next year. So this will be fun. This has been the Undrafted Uncensored. From myself, Connor, and Colin, Mace. I know you
Rockies
can't
just
join.
took the lead.
And the
Sorry.
Buffs are in Northern Colorado territory. Update on that game. But anyways, that'll do it from us here at the Undrafted. Please keep tuned for next week. Anyways, that'll do it from us. Have a good night.